In its biggest transformation ever, the plaza is carved into multi-million-dollar condominiums, a boutique hotel, and retail stores. Preservationists, politicians, and the powerful New York Hotel Union stage a vociferous resistance, with New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg negotiating a compromise. 2008. The first apartment owners move into the plaza, with a roster of buyers that includes Hollywood executives, Russian oligarchs, and anonymous shell companies with questionable links as far afield as Kazakhstan and the Pacific Islands. 2012. Subrata Roy, a colorful Indian business tycoon, purchases the plaza without ever sleeping in one of its rooms. Under investigation, Roy is eventually sentenced to 2 years in jail in Delhi and is barred from traveling abroad. 2017. The plaza suffers from the indignities of an absentee owner, while Roy entertains offers for the hotel from a cast of characters of dubious repute. A series of fiascos ensues, replete with lawsuits, a fistfight in the Palm Court, and a journalist who is sent to the same jail where Roy himself was imprisoned. 2018. In a surprise move, Roy's tenure comes to a sudden end when the hospitality arm of the Qatar Investment Authority emerges as a stealth bidder, successfully acquiring the hotel. Long-time plaza aficionados are optimistic that the new stewards will restore the property to its former glory. Introduction. Subrata Roy was reclining on a sofa in a pink shirt, orange pocket square, and plaid blazer, his outfit contrasting sharply with the sparse, all-white living room. It was a steamy August afternoon in New Delhi in the summer of 2017, but inside it was hushed and cool, a world away from the honking and beggars' cries ringing out from the crumbling streets below. Roy, his hair and mustache dyed the same black as his shiny shoes, sipped water from a glass handed to him by a uniformed servant carrying a silver tray. After a pause, Roy looked at me and declared, "Such lovely history it has." I waited for him to expound further, answering my question on why he loved the Plaza, his prized New York hotel, but Roy seemed to have nothing more to add. Perhaps it wasn't surprising that the 69-year-old fallen mogul had little to say about the historic property. After all, Roy had visited the Plaza just once, and then only for a brief tour. That was back in 2012, just before he shelled out $570 million to buy the hotel. A few weeks later, the Indian Supreme Court issued a devastating decision ordering Roy to repay more than $3 billion plus interest to tens of millions of poverty-stricken Indians who had invested in his company's bonds. Roy scrambled to refund the money and was eventually arrested after failing to appear at a court-mandated hearing. He spent 2 years behind bars in one of Southeast Asia's most notorious prisons. In 2016, Roy was released on parole, but while freed from his cell, he remained prohibited from traveling abroad. Roy never had a chance to lay his head on a plaza pillow, let alone relish his newest toy. When envisioning the plaza, most people don't conjure up visions of an absentee owner stuck in India, plagued by investigations and billions of dollars in debt. They think of Eloise, the impish guest who pours water down the mail chute, or lavish weddings in the gold and white ballroom. Maybe for some, the plaza conjures up images of men in top hats riding horse-drawn carriages, or the writer F. Scott Fitzgerald frolicking in the Pulitzer Fountain. These are all accurate depictions. But today, so is Subrata Roy. How did we get from the glory of what the plaza once represented to its current state? What does this say about historic institutions and changes in America and the moneyed class? This book is a history of the 1%, of celebrity, of pop culture and gossip. It also examines how the plaza is ground zero for the increasing globalization of money and the slow decoupling of pedigree from wealth. Hotel.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.